The Ryan Reynolds Hollywood PR machine is in full effect.
It's really weird to watch this kind of behavior.
It's all just so weird, which he goes into about his dad seemingly was a bully, his dad's dad was a bully.
And as we know, Ryan didn't stop bullying people 22 years ago, as we've seen with Nice Pool. If that's not bullying, Justin Baldoni, I don't.
Ryan Reynolds confessed to bullying a 22-year-old girl, an act of harassment he proudly admitted to on Conan O'Brien's podcast decades after the fact. He framed this disturbing admission as a youthful mistake, a mere comedic anecdote, completely devoid of genuine remorse. His idea of an apology? Sending champagne to someone who doesn't even drink. It wasn't an olive branch, it was another calculated humiliation, bubbles concealing a deeper, more unsettling truth about Hollywood's golden boy. The room on Conan's show was filled with manufactured laughs, yet the public was left reeling, questioning the integrity of a star so desperate for validation that he would trivialize such an act. This wasn't a slip-up, it was a bombshell dropped with a smirk, setting the stage for a dramatic unraveling.
That you don't punch down. Like, it's not your vibe, and it's a good...
Oh, no, I would very much like to be the
best
joke.
Targets.
This wasn't some off-the-cuff remark. It was delivered amidst an hour-long interview designed for light-hearted banter about his Deadpool fame. Reynolds, ever the comedian, attempted to spin the confession with characteristic humor, presenting it as a single regrettable error from his younger days. Yet the delivery felt less like an apology and more like a carefully orchestrated PR move designed to deflect from any real introspection. He quickly pivoted, laughing along, leaving the audience to wonder if this was a sincere admission or just another chapter in his tightly controlled public narrative. The sheer audacity of recounting such a story for laughs without a flicker of true shame underscored a growing suspicion that his charming facade hides something far more complex and troubling than previously imagined.
And then so that's where I got the lesson to never apologize.
The public reaction was immediate and sharply divided. One faction of loyal fans rushed to his defense, trotting out the tired "we all make mistakes when we're young" excuse, as if being a 22-year-old bully is a universal rite of passage. Others, however, saw through the act, pointing out the hollow nature of his apology and the uncomfortable casualness with which he discussed harassing someone. Why choose Conan's light-hearted podcast for such a confession? Was it an attempt to bury the revelation under a mountain of giggles, a calculated move to make an unsavory truth more palatable? The timing and context reeked of strategic manipulation, leaving many to question if Reynolds was truly sorry or simply desperate for attention, even negative attention, to keep his name in the headlines.
So last night, US time, Ryan Reynolds was appearing on the Conan O'Brien show called Team Coke.
Beyond this single incident, a pattern of punching down has emerged in Reynolds' career, notably in his films like Deadpool. Despite cultivating an image as a champion of the underdog, his humor often stoops to mocking those who are already struggling or exploits easy targets for a laugh. While the internet might chuckle along, these moments subtly erode the carefully constructed persona of the nice Canadian. This recurring theme in his comedic choices makes people question the authenticity of his self-deprecating wit, suggesting a deeper character flaw rather than just harmless fun. It reveals a willingness to exploit vulnerabilities for entertainment, a stark contrast to the benevolent star his PR machine so diligently promotes.
So in this 1 hour long, interview, show, whatever, Ryan was trying to be funny the whole time, which is his thing.
The situation escalated dramatically with the alleged bullying of Justin Baldoni, particularly after Baldoni's feud with Blake Lively. Reynolds, using his immense Hollywood influence, reportedly went on a full-blown mission to destroy Baldoni's career. He didn't directly confront him. Instead, in true Reynolds fashion, he chose a more insidious approach, introducing a character in his film Nice Pull that, with all the subtlety of a sledgehammer, eerily resembled Baldoni. This wasn't just playful banter, it was a calculated professional attack, leveraging his platform to inflict maximum damage. The move sent shockwaves through the industry, exposing a vindictive side that many never suspected, revealing the dark underbelly of Hollywood power plays.
You don't punch down. Like, it's not your vibe, and it's a good...
Oh, no, I would very much like to be the joke.
Baldoni's legal team swiftly responded, with his representative Friedman quoted in TMZ, exposing Reynolds' exploitation of his enormous power. Friedman alleged that Reynolds was a key player in the scheme to defame Justin around Hollywood, actively strong-arming their agency, WME, into dropping Baldoni as a client. This was no mere rumor, it was a direct accusation of professional sabotage, painting Reynolds as a ruthless operator willing to leverage his status to dismantle a peer's career. Reynolds, however, reportedly dismissed these concerns as Baldoni being thin-skinned for complaining about the nice pull character, further demonstrating a striking lack of empathy or accountability. This incident laid bare the brutal realities of celebrity feuds, where careers can be collateral damage.
I did it once in my life, and I deeply, deeply regretted it.
Next on Reynolds' alleged bullying CV is the messy saga with T.J. Miller on the set of Deadpool. Miller, a significant comedic force in the original film, publicly accused Reynolds and the production team of fostering a toxic working environment. He vividly recounted an instance where Reynolds, in character, was horrifically mean to him, going beyond typical banter to personally attack him, telling him he was not the star and merely providing exposition. This wasn't just about creative differences, it was a raw, public airing of grievances that completely shattered the perception of a harmonious set and Reynolds' nice guy image. The revelations painted a grim picture of behind-the-scenes tension, leaving many to question the true nature of their on-screen chemistry.
Or the guy with the microphone starts picking on someone, and you're just like, they don't have a microphone as well. It's not fair, you know. And it's and it just that left a mark that I'll never ever.
Yeah, you can't.
In a move that could only be described as a Hollywood power play, Reynolds reportedly made a highly interesting phone call to T.J. Miller after these public accusations. Miraculously, Miller swiftly recanted his statements, suddenly declaring he would love to return to a Deadpool film and that all was sunshine and rainbows again. This abrupt reversal left the public bewildered. How could such deep-seated discomfort evaporate overnight? The implication was clear. Reynolds had used his influence, not necessarily through charm, but through a more coercive form of persuasion to compel Miller to walk back his damaging allegations. It was a stark demonstration of how deeply narratives can be controlled and inconvenient truths suppressed in the cutthroat world of celebrity.
That he's desperate for validation, maybe because his dad never gave that to him.
The public didn't exactly buy Miller's sudden change of heart. A collective groan echoed across social media as people wondered if this reconciliation was genuine or simply a slick PR maneuver to protect Reynolds' golden boy image. The lack of detail surrounding their alleged phone call only fueled speculation, leading many to suspect Miller was under significant pressure. Was this the work of an influential Hollywood player leveraging his power to shape narratives in his favor, ensuring no stain could permanently tarnish his reputation? The incident highlighted a persistent pattern, Reynolds' ability to manipulate and control situations behind the scenes, leaving little doubt that his charm often masks a much more calculating approach to reputation management.
This whole conversation to me just says that Ryan Reynolds is a very insecure person and he can't be himself. He never can be himself. He just has to be a comedian all the time.
The list of collaborators with whom Reynolds has clashed doesn't end there. Tim Miller, the director who played a critical role in bringing the original Deadpool to life and shaping its unique tone, mysteriously didn't return for the sequel. His sudden departure wasn't just a creative break, it ignited rumors of significant behind-the-scenes conflict, with whispers suggesting Reynolds took the reins and effectively sidelined the director who helped launch the franchise. It wasn't long before Tim Miller, like T.J. Miller, was also allegedly convinced to seemingly let go and recant any negative sentiments, further solidifying a disturbing pattern of Reynolds exerting control over those around him to maintain his desired narrative.
I don't see the point in this interview, and if you see the comment section, it's still open. You know, there's a lot of comments there asking Conan O'Brien why.
This consistent pattern reveals that Reynolds doesn't just star in movies, he actively shapes and controls them and the narratives surrounding them. Whether through charm, persuasion, or a distinct brand of Hollywood magic, he ensures things go his way. If a public rift emerges, he finds a way to mend it. If a project isn't heading in his preferred direction, he steers it back. This unwavering ability to maintain a firm hold over his image and his projects is where his true power in Hollywood lies. It's a testament to his strategic prowess, but also raises questions about the cost of such absolute control and the real stories that get buried beneath the surface.
Using people I like, Conan O'Brien, to put out their message and make it seem like there's nothing wrong. We're still big names.
The tensions extended to action auteur Michael Bay, director of Transformers and countless explosions. Rumors swirled about serious friction between Bay and Reynolds on the set of 6 Underground. Bay, known for his tight ship and penchant for practical effects, reportedly clashed with Reynolds' sarcastic approach and reputation as the class clown. While not shocking given their contrasting styles, the silence surrounding their collaboration spoke volumes. Bay's notorious intensity met Reynolds' quick wit, creating an environment ripe for conflict, yet the official narrative remained carefully managed. This further highlighted a recurring issue: Reynolds' difficulty in truly collaborating when his preferred method of humor and control isn't the dominant force on set.
On to Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively heat. I don't hate them. I'm angry with them. I'm frustrated with them because they refuse to take accountability, and they are using their Hollywood power to just stomp on.
The recurring theme of creative collaborators clashing with Ryan Reynolds begs a fundamental question: why do so many seem to rub him the wrong way? It's not just Michael Bay or TJ Miller, it's a trend that suggests a deeper dynamic at play. Perhaps he's not truly a team player, relying too heavily on sarcastic one-liners, when a creative space demands more genuine collaboration. In Hollywood, where egos are as big as budgets, there needs to be a delicate balance between playing the role and navigating the intricate game of power. Reynolds' unique way of doing things, while charming to many, clearly doesn't resonate with everyone, leading to persistent friction and whispers of discontent behind the scenes.
Sadly, they are going to be big names, but they got away with something, or so far they've gotten away with something that I'm just not okay with, and I'm going to continue to call it out. And this appearance, he said a lot of stuff that I'm just frustrated. Like, why are you out there doing this stuff? You really need the attention this badly?
For years, Ryan Reynolds meticulously crafted a reputation as Hollywood's lovable, nice guy. His social media presence, a masterclass in meme-worthy tweets, relatable jokes, and self-deprecating humor, painted him as an everyman who never took himself too seriously. This down-to-earth persona served as an impenetrable shield against any real criticism, endearing him to millions. He perfected the art of being in on the joke, always keeping things light, always charming. This meticulously curated image became his greatest asset, allowing him to navigate the treacherous waters of celebrity with an almost unassailable public appeal. It was a carefully constructed facade, built brick by charming brick, designed to deflect and endear.
And so, look, I'm not even trying to be a critic here to say, no, be nice to everybody, Ryan. That's not what it's about. But you're a hypocrite.
But this facade, no matter how carefully constructed, is now showing significant cracks. Despite his claims of being an underdog champion, his tendency to punch down in his humor, often at the expense of those already struggling, cannot be erased. Moments in films like Deadpool, where humor derives from making fun of vulnerable characters, directly contradict his carefully built persona. People are beginning to question if this nice Canadian act is as real as it seems. Looking beyond the witty tweets to the actual content of his actions and art, the disconnect between his public image and these undeniable instances of problematic humor is becoming increasingly difficult for even his most ardent fans to ignore.
Ryan Reynolds basically admitted that he'd been calling Baldoni a predator.
Enter Blake Lively, Ryan's wife and half of Hollywood's seemingly perfect power couple. Whispers have begun to suggest that Blake isn't just a supportive partner. She's allegedly played a significant behind-the-scenes role in fueling some of Ryan's more questionable public feuds and helping him sidestep accountability. Allegations of manipulation and industry interference have surfaced, implying that her influence might be steering events in Ryan's favor, ensuring he remains insulated from the consequences of his actions. This dynamic casts a new unsettling light on their carefully crafted public image, suggesting a strategic partnership far more complex and potentially Machiavellian than the glamorous red carpet appearances let on.
Now here Friedman is quoted in TMZ. Let's look at what he said. Mr. Reynolds' exploitation of his enormous power in Hollywood continues, this time arrogantly asking to be dismissed from the case despite his publicly documented involvement, extending far beyond just being a supportive spouse.
Together, Reynolds and Lively form a formidable Hollywood powerhouse, wielding an undeniable influence that few dare to challenge. Their joint presence in the media meticulously shapes narratives, keeping them firmly out of the firing line. They are the epitome of the golden couple, perpetually flawless on red carpets, always in control, and seemingly untouchable. However, beneath this shimmering surface, a growing public frustration simmers. Their uncanny ability to dodge any real consequences, to remain above criticism despite mounting evidence of questionable behavior, is wearing thin. This impenetrable shield they've cultivated together is starting to look less like genuine innocence and more like calculated deflection, raising uncomfortable questions about their ethical compass.
Reported Ryan filed the dismissal docs Tuesday, calling Justin thin-skinned for complaining that so-called nice pool character from Deadpool and Wolverine was mocking.
The cracks in their seemingly perfect image are undeniably growing, becoming more noticeable with each passing controversy. As the layers peel back, it becomes painfully clear that not everything is as pristine as it appears on Instagram. Ryan's nice guy act is fraying at the edges, and Blake's alleged role in this continues to be shrouded in mystery, fueling speculation. The potent combination of their immense influence and their ability to consistently sidestep accountability is severely testing the public's patience. People are demanding more than perfectly curated posts. They seek honesty and realness, virtues that Ryan, for all his charm, has consistently struggled to deliver, jeopardizing their long-term public adoration.
And they say, well, even doing that, he's just thin-skinned for complaining about it.
But Baldwin didn't take it lightly.
Mr. Reynolds was a key player in the scheme, defaming Justin around Hollywood, strong-arming WME, their agency, into dropping Justin as a client and trying to destroy Justin's career however possible.
But Baldoni didn't take it lightly.
100% Ryan was the one who put this line in here. Not SNL, not Tina Fey, not Blake Lively, but Ryan.
The "I was just joking" routine, once his go-to defense, simply isn't cutting it anymore. Ryan Reynolds' charming deflections are losing their potency in the face of mounting evidence and public scrutiny. If he has any hope of salvaging his tarnished image, it demands a radical shift, real accountability, a heartfelt apology that feels genuine, and a transparent acknowledgement of his past actions. The days of dismissing serious allegations with a witty quip are over. The public is hungry for authenticity, not another carefully controlled narrative. Without a significant pivot towards genuine remorse and ethical reflection, his meticulously constructed empire risks crumbling, leaving only the bitter taste of unaddressed controversies.
You know he hates
We
you.
had a really weird moment on Dead.
Public opinion is now sharply split, a dizzying whirlwind of adoration and condemnation. Is Ryan Reynolds a lovable hero, a conniving villain, or merely an average guy caught in a PR nightmare of his own making? One moment, he's the witty, relatable Deadpool, universally adored. The next, he's embroiled in multiple scandals, leaving fans scratching their heads, wondering which version of Ryan they are supposed to believe or root for. This constant oscillation between charming celebrity and alleged Hollywood bully has created an identity crisis that his carefully crafted persona can no longer contain. The confusion highlights the precarious tightrope he walks, where one misstep can shatter an entire career built on manufactured goodwill.
Deadpool, where he said, let's do one more take. And everyone was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me.
This meltdown isn't just a blip, it's potentially the beginning of the end for Ryan Reynolds' reign as Hollywood's favorite nice guy. The legal battles, social media firestorms, and the growing chorus of people questioning his facade suggest that the tides are turning irrevocably. His nice Canadian routine simply cannot save him now, with cracks in his image so vast they're impossible to ignore. Dodging consequences, as he has seemingly done for years, is no longer an option. The demand for true accountability has reached a fever pitch, and unless there's a monumental shift in his strategy and a genuine embrace of responsibility, his carefully cultivated empire is on the precipice of collapse, revealing the manipulative foundations beneath.
So he was like, what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star, but you just, you do just enough exposition that it's funny, and then we can leave and get back to the...
Underpinning this whole chaotic narrative, one can't help but sense a deep-seated insecurity, hinted at by his relentless need to be a comedian, perpetually unable to just be himself. This compulsion, perhaps rooted in a familial history of bullying, his dad was a bully, his dad's dad was a bully, suggests a cycle of behavior and a desperate need for external validation. It's as if the charming persona is a shield, a constant performance to deflect from deeper truths. This constant act, while initially successful, now feels exhausting and disingenuous, highlighting a tragic flaw in the very foundation of his public and possibly private identity. The endless jokes are not a sign of confidence, but rather a desperate plea for acceptance.
When that went viral, Ryan Reynolds immediately picked up the phone and somehow got TJ Miller to recant. Oh no, we're now good friends.
So here we are at a critical juncture for Ryan Reynolds. The meticulously crafted image of Hollywood's lovable rogue is crumbling under the weight of past actions and present scrutiny. Can his PR machine mend the gaping wounds, or will the accumulated pressure finally expose the full extent of the manipulation and hypocrisy? The public is demanding authenticity, accountability, and a genuine reckoning with his behavior. The question isn't just about his career, it's about whether an industry built on smoke and mirrors can sustain a star who has consistently evaded real consequences. The cracks are evident, and it's only a matter of time before they fully break open, redefining his legacy forever.